Good morning from Los Angeles. Welcome to Trading with Sergio Live every Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And Power Hour on Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. A lot going on over the weekend, as well as today, obviously. Metals are specifically silver, which I'm trying to short. Well, I'm kind of short through the 2x ETF, inverse ETF, but we'll get to the positions in a minute. It is absolutely melting up. If you have any scrap silver laying around, I think you can get, I don't know, it's like $105 or $108 for it, an ounce. It is going crazy. So we'll talk about all that over the weekend. We had some, as usual, excitement obviously going on. Supposedly there was a coup in China that was thwarted, and my little hoodie is looking raggedy. Oh well. And yeah, I mean, there's not a weekend that goes by that we don't get anything going on. Crypto selling off, metals ripping. Um, U.S. government or U.S. Treasury seems like they're about to intervene to protect the yen from collapsing. JGB rates skyrocketing, a lot going on. And just to make sense of all of it, and trade is becoming more difficult, to be honest with you guys. But as most of you hopefully understand, that they all mean something, right, to the markets, at least on the short term. Long term, I'm not sure. I think everything will settle where they settle. Hopefully nothing breaks in between. And the Japanese yen losing value precipitously against the US dollar is not a good thing for Japan, obviously. Why not? Because unlike our economy, their economy is based on exporting, from cars to everything else, TVs, whatever. But computer chips, all that good stuff. So while their interest rates are skyrocketing, it's not due to anything else but their national debt. Their national debt is a 230% debt to GDP. They put themselves in here. So what's going to happen is that there is fear that in order to protect the yen, the Japanese institutions they're the largest owner of U.S. treasuries in the globe. China used to be number one. Now Japan is number one with about 1.4 trillion. Besides the treasuries, they own trillions of dollars in stock as well. So could there be another carry trade crisis kind of thing going on? Well, the carry trade crisis happened because the Japanese yen was gaining value against the dollar, not losing value. Okay, we went through that. I've done a bunch of videos about the carry trade, how it works, what it means. You can go check them out on the channel. Well, this time around, they may be forced sellers of treasuries and stocks, US stocks, in order to protect the yen, in order to start selling dollars. Well, um, I don't know. We'll see where all this is going to end up. But when countries like Japan, like ourselves, like China, they continuously stimulate and keep pumping, at some point, what's happening to the metals is directly correlated to that, obviously, because if the dollar is going to get weaker, which it has been, and now it's going to get weaker faster, well, that's why the metals are ripping. The only thing that's not going up, which is kind of surprising, is crypto. Crypto is in its own winter. It's been in its own winter for a while. And the stock market's kind of getting closer to all-time highs. It's interesting what's going on. And short term, I don't think, honestly, to my trading, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But then, I do try to understand what could happen in the longer end. And yeah, it's again, there's something that happens every weekend. It seems like actually yesterday the futures opened down close to 50 handles, and then by the open today we were unchanged, and now we're kind of going higher. There's a lot of cross currents in the markets, and it's becoming tougher and tougher to just kind of figure all this out. But then, one should not put their head in the sand and say, well, it'll be fine. I'm not that type anyway. I try to understand what's going on, and we'll see. This is all going to play itself out. What's happening in metals is historic. Gold, silver, gold 5100, silver at 108 or 107. I'm not sure where spot silver is at. I think it's pretty close to what I thought. We'll see. Let's see where silver is. Spot silver. And then, I was reading some 117. Holy shit. I thought it was 108. I'm a little late to the party. What's happening is that there were a lot of people complaining that, they're trying to sell their silver, and, dealers are quoting 20% under spot. Well, they have to, because they have to protect themselves, right? I mean, any second now the rug pull can happen, or whatever is going to happen is going to happen. This type of move is not normal to start with, okay? And a commodity like silver, which is also an industrial commodity, now everything is going to get affected by it, right? Where is silver used the most? In solar panels. Well, all the solar panel manufacturers now either have to raise their prices, or their business may slow down. But I think there is more structural stuff that's going on with silver, as opposed to just being an industrial metal. Hunt Brothers tried to corner the market, I don't know, I think it was like 30 years ago. That ended in a disaster. But is it the same? Probably not. There's a lot of, it seems like, to me today, it seems like a lot of out of the money calls are being bought, and the market makers are just hedging themselves. You can tell every little dip is being bought, and that's the market makers adjusting their books. Option market makers anyway. And if you look at the volume and open interest in the silver options, it's nuts. It's gone crazy. So is the price. And my saying is, my education tells me that parabolics never end well, and when they do end, they end badly. And is it going to be today? Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be next week? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. We're pretty close to at least a short-term top and a mean reversion kind of a move. But it's going to be volatile. It's going to be, going up 10%, down 10%. 10% is a big move, folks. So on a metal especially, we're not talking stocks now. And we'll see what happens. So I am long ZSL. I had a covered strangle on it. I rolled my options, and then I'll go to the positions in a minute and then explain what's going on there. And ZSL is the 2x ETF, inverse ETF of silver. So yeah, that's what's going on. If you guys have any questions, please put them up. I have like a lot of calls today, so I may not be able to do the full hour, but I'll try to hang in there as much as I can. Let's go to the positions, and let's see where we're at. Okay. I post the positions, by the way, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. I run the most transparent finance YouTube channel, period. There's no ifs and buts about that. And so ASST, I'm long leaps, expiring in 2027. We'll see where that's going to end up. That's my lotto ticket for 2027, to be perfectly honest with you. So I put on these positions. I added today a little bit. Aero environment, I'm short put credit spreads, 280, 270 put credit spread. And with that money, I turned around and bought a call debit spread, 350, 400. Position is just about even. I added it to them today. I have one more to go. At 75-cent debit. I started doing these at about 3 or 310. I did more at 250. I did more at 225 this morning. I did more at 150, and then now I'm down to 75. So about every 75 cent, I'm trying to put the position on. So if you guys understand what that is, put debit spread. Put credit spread is I sell the higher strike and buy the lower strike. So it's a defined risk downside trade. Stock is 302. I'm doing the 280, 270 put credit spread. And with that money, I'm turning around and putting some money out of pocket, buying the 350, 400s. I'm doing it, looking at the charts, obviously. BMNU position has not changed. It's the same. We're just going to wait for expiration. If I get assigned another 1,500 shares, no problem. I'm willing to take it. I'm short the 4 and 5 puts going out to February 20th, but I'm also short the 6, 7, and 8 calls from much, much higher levels. Luckily, I was able to put those out and going to lower the cost basis. I'm long 70 Carnival Cruise Lines, February 30s. Today I sold 30 and a half and 31s against it. Weeklies, I had done the same thing last week, lowering cost basis. I was long $20 tree, Feb 145s, sold them at 125 and 150 this morning. I was only long 20. I sold half position, took some profits. Next one is Figure Technologies, FIGR. Actually, let me highlight these. Whatever I'm highlighting, it's an open position. Figure Technologies, stock is 63.56. I did the same thing, except I did a little bit more size on this. I'm short the 62.5, 57.5 put credit spread going out to February 20th, and I'm long the 65.80 call debit spread. That position is just about even as well. I am long some open door. I'm going to sell some weekly calls or take the L and get out of Dodge on this one. And I closed my 10 remaining SPY PDS, SPY put debit spread at either break even or like a nickel loss or something. And I'm long 20 Wave Life, Feb 20 calls. And last but not least, here's that. I'm long 2,500 shares of ZSL. I had put on a 3-3 strangle at 105 credit. Well, stock is down to 170. So when the rule of thumb is on strangles, covered or naked strangles, is that if the total taken in gets into jeopardy, you roll. Okay, so which is what I did today, and I rolled the 3 puts to 2, kept the 3 calls alone. So now I'm short 25. I'm willing to get assigned 2,500 shares of ZSL at 2 minus the 65-cent premium I took in. I may actually add to the shares here and add to the covered strangle any second now. And that's the position there. So what else? That's about it. I'm definitely willing to get assigned ZSL at 2 minus the 65 cents I took in, which is 135. If it's above 2, let's expire worthless, call expire worthless. I'll put on the strangle again. So, yeah, that's where the positions are at. I'm looking at a few different things. Specifically, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different stocks I'm looking at. But when they get there, no rush. I'll wait for my turn and I'll do it. Which, Apple is ripping actually today. So let's go to, may have bottomed at the 200 EMA. Let's take a look. So anyway, this is SPX. We're just chugging along, literally less than 0.5% from all-time high. Here's Triple Q. What has been moving higher, which I have talked about 6 months ago, is IWM, which is the Russell 2000. That's the only index that's making new all-time highs, folks. And I don't think the indexes are going to move too much this year because they're very obviously the S&P 500 is market cap weighted index, and I don't think the major names, the Mag 7, Mag 10 is going to have that much of a move going on. For example, Nvidia has been going sideways for 6 months now. Apple actually was in a downtrend today, it kind of bouncing back from the 200 EMA. Microsoft, same thing. So if these, 8, 7, 8, 10 stocks don't move, the index cannot move because literally 60+% of the index's value is in these 7, 8 stocks. So Microsoft obviously is one, Meta is another one, and they've been rallying actually. Amazon is another one. I don't think Netflix is in there. So what's happening to Netflix? I'm short put. I'm trying to get assigned. Well, we'll see. 88, I may get assigned. I'm also short the 83s, and stock, moved up a little bit. I'm trying to establish a position in the long-term port on that one. And what else? Tesla is selling off a little bit today. Well, actually, it's selling up pretty decent, down 10, couple of percentage points. So the stock that I'm looking at is Form Factor. Yeah, I'm looking to buy that. I'm looking to buy Kratos Defense. So they're all just pulling back to 20 EMAs, and first pull back to 20 EMA is pretty high probability that they'll bounce. These are all from my 52-week high list. Like one is LightPath. LightPath is actually almost there. We're almost at the 50 EMA. Okay, so we'll take a look at that real quick. What can we do there? Any news there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it's definitely approaching a buy. Stocks high was 1524. We're down to 1048, down about 40% in a couple of days. Let's take a look what we can do there. Let's go to March on these. Same thing we can do. Let's put on a seller put credit spread. Sell the 10s, buy the 7.5s. Dollar credit, buy the 10s. Sell the 15s. It's resistance 35-cent debit. The stock is 1047. So you can buy it with a synthetic. You can buy the stock cheaper than buying the stock itself. Yeah, that's looking very interesting, actually. I do like that. Next one is things I'm looking to buy, actually. Excuse the voice. Next one is MRAM. Everspin Technologies. That's pulling back to 20 MA. That's looking also interesting. The stock was 1724 high. We're about 1290 range. Yeah, I'll be a buyer at about 1210. So gotta watch those closely. Next one is OSS. One Stop Systems. It's just consolidating, high-level consolidation. Next one is Photronics. That's consolidating. Next one is Rocket Lab, which is a diversified group. I mean, not Rocket Lab, Rocket Companies, mortgage company. That's pulled back enough. Next one is Sensata Technologies, consolidating before breakout. Next one is Toll Brothers. That's consolidating. And the last one, but not least, is Velo 3D. That's at the 50 MA. So there is some trades that I should be actually looking to do here. Interesting. Okay. All right, so let's take some notes. Velo is there. MRAM is there. LightPath is there. The other ones we gotta wait. What can we do on Velo? What are we doing below? Stock is 1286. Go to March. Oh, Velo doesn't have options. Okay, we'll buy the shares. And Light Path, we know what we're doing. MRAM, does that have options? Yes, it does. Are we in the range though? No, we're not there yet. I need that about 12 range, 12, 1250, somewhere in that range. Okay, patience. Patience, patience, patience. What do? We do 12 and a half, 10 on that. Sell the 12 and a half, buy the 10s. Let's see. Stock's high is 17 and a half, so 12 and buy the 12 and a half, sell the 17 and a half for March. Or we can do for February 33 debit. If we do the same thing with Feb, yeah, I think Feb is better. Sell the 12 and a halves, buy the 10s, buy the 12 and a halves, and sell the 17 and a half. 60 debit. No, March is better. Okay, so we're going to do that. Four-legged animals, like those. Gives you a little bit of a protection, actually. So, yeah, those are the positions, and that's what I'm looking to do. If you guys do have any questions, please post it, because I think I'm going to have to keep it short today. I got a lot of shit going on. Excuse the language. Let me move those Carnival weeklies up. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, we'll see what happens to ZSL and SLV. I'm fully willing to get assigned 2,500 more shares at 2 minus the commission. By then, the 3s will expire worthless, lowering cost basis. I may just buy some shares here in addition. I'm of the belief that silver is pretty close to topping, and when it does top, it's going to be violent. But then it could be from anywhere, honestly. So we're at 104.54 on SLV, whereas SIL, which is the, yeah, that's selling off already. Some silver stocks that have gone parabolic, Hycroft Mining, Hecla Mining. These are some silver stocks that if you guys are interested in shorting, they're already selling off. So first sells off the shares and then the metal follows. That's been my experience over the last 30 years anyway. Next one is Pan American Silver. Yeah, that's also on its low. Yeah. Next one is AG, Majestic Silver. That's about hanging in there. And EXK is the next one. These are all silver stocks. Endeavor Silver. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this today turns out. Market's not closed yet. We got a couple hours to go. Ooh, did we really get that candle? No, we didn't. I don't think so. Okay, so we're 2 from the high, 102.5, 197.5 is the key on SLV. And we'll patiently check it out. Where is that? Okay. All right. Okay. Not much else is going on except those 3 stocks of Velo, LPTH, and MRAM. LPTH is almost there. Patience, patience, patience. When you do wait, it'll come to you. Yeah, this is right in range here. You know, down 45% in a couple days. Okay. You know, these are high beta, volatile stocks, folks. So again, none of this is trading, financial, or investment advice. What I do is very risky. Do your own due diligence. I am not telling you what to do. We're all big boys here. So that's all I can say. Okay. So SPY selling off or L? No. Nope. Okay. I think LPTH is reasonable here. Let's price that again for March. Actually, let's price it again for Feb. Did I price that for Feb? No. Yeah, let's price it for Feb. Sell the 10s. Buy the 7.5s. Buy the 10s. Sell the 15s for 33-cent debit for February. How about we go to March? Same thing. Sell the 10s. Buy the 7.5s. Buy the 10s. Sell the 15s. 40-cent debit. Yeah, I'd rather do March for another nickel. I'm going to try to do these with no debit. So down to 38-cent debit. Yeah, somewhere around there. I think somewhere at 10. Yeah, somewhere around 10. Yeah. I mean, MACD is going to sell, but it's above 0. I'm not going to be concerned with that at the moment. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Silver 103.92. Are we going to do it today? Now, one thing that's happening today that's very peculiar, okay, is this. So we know what the market makers are good at, right? Market makers are good at adjusting pricing. And if you're having enough experience and you've watched these markets for a long time, what is happening is that silver is skyrocketing and the puts, silver SLV puts, are also going up. So the SLV puts have no business going up, obviously, right? Especially like way out of the money. Let's say stock is at 103.70. 70 puts for February are up. They're up like 20%. Why? Because implied volatility has gone through the roof, right? So you need to start paying attention to these kind of things, folks. And so then the puts are up and this underlying is up as well, we're pretty close to a top in the underlying. So, and the same thing is not happening with the calls. So my point is, if you watch these things long enough, and on a day that the underlying is up 12, 14%, while the puts are up 20%, tells you something. So that's experience, obviously. So same thing is happening with the Marches. Actually, I was trying to buy some March 70 puts for like 90 cents, which my calculator said it would be. Well, what 90 cents? They didn't even get close to 90 cents when silver gapped up. And now they're at the high of the day. They're up also. So again, implied volatility on the SLV went from 72 on Friday to close to 90 today. So it goes to show you, if you had bought puts on Friday on SLV and you saw the open today and the melt up today, and you said, oh my God, my puts are going to die. Well, not so fast, because implied volatility has gone nuts. So when implied volatility goes that high, even buying the puts is not going to help you. The reason is, on the way down now, implied volatility is going to be lowered back to 70. Although the underlying will go down, you won't make any money. That's the problem with options. So if you understand that, folks, then you should be okay. We should be okay. Let's see. Yeah, Feb's, March. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a sign. We'll see. We'll see where everything ends up. Not concerned. I think I'm set up pretty well. Let's see if this is the sell-off today, though. Yeah, we're down to 103. So our high was 106.70. We're down to 103. Are we getting volume, though? Yeah, we're getting a little bit of volume here. About 2.5 million every 2 minutes. Yeah. Today's going to be a record high volume on SLV, by the way. But I'm interested in this LPTH 1041. Yeah, I'm definitely interested putting that trade on. It's a bounce play. It's a synthetic, yeah, right on the 50 MA. I'm really, really interested. Let's see where the 50 SMA is on that. So set templates. 50 SMA is actually lower. 50 SMA is about 950. Okay, anywhere between 950 and 10. I'm a buyer. I'm going to put on that synthetic. So how much is that going to cost me is the question. We sell the March 10 by the 7.5s. Sell the March 10 by the 7.5s, buy the 10s, sell the 15s. 30 cents. What is that going to cost me? 4 or 5 lots? Not much. 1,400. It's about right. Sounds good to me. That's the next trade. So AV, we did that. We're done with that. BMNU, we're just going to wait our time. CCL, we're just going to wait our time. We sold some weeklies. It's fine. If it rallies to 31, great. If it doesn't, no problem. Dollar Tree, I think we need to take our break even there. FIGR, we're profitable actually now. Okay. Yeah, ZSL. Yeah, we'll see. See what happens. Maybe today was the top. Do they open down 10% tomorrow? Possible. Possible. 102.60 now. We're getting the selling now. The put buyers know, market makers know when they do this, you guys got to watch it. You guys got to be careful. So 102.5 taken out, 102.40. It's going to sell off another couple. 100 is next support. VWAP is at about right about 99. So it's getting a little interesting now. Getting a little interesting, folks. Yeah, today we traded over 235 million shares already of SLV, and we're not even 11 o'clock. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. All right, so that's where we are. So those are the positions. Looking to add MRAM, LPTH for sure, and VLOM. Again, none of this is trading financial advice. Don't do what I do. What I do is risky. All right. What's going on? Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Luis. Good afternoon, Mr. Joel. Do you think... Do I think gold will pass 500? It's already about 5,000. It's about 5,100. Is that what you meant? You missed a zero? I wish it was 500. I'd be buying it. Doing very well on the shell zero, but I haven't put money into my investments, which I've been off work delivery jobs because of snowstorm. Yeah, but you got to keep doing it. Be careful with that silver ETF, sir. I think we may be topping today, but we'll see. Good morning, traveler. Let's answer the questions and say goodbye. Oh, yeah. We had the same synthetic, remember? We had the put credit spread and bought the calls, the call debit spread. I think we're at 85. Where is that now? Is that 300? What a trade that was. That was just magical. I think we were, yeah, right? Yeah, I think so. NUGT, yeah. Yeah, now we're unwinding pretty quickly here. NUGT, yeah. 300, Doug. We did the trade right here before this breakout right here. I remember it like yesterday. We had the 75-70 put credit spread and then 85-100 call debit spread. We're at 300. We got out of that early, but, you know, these are trends of lifetimes, man. We'll see. Yeah, 101, 101.60 now. Now we're unwinding. Let's see if they hold it here. Yeah, you can tell now the selling is coming in. Massive amount of selling coming in now. Let's see where those puts are at, though. I'll bet you the puts won't go up now. Everybody jumps on the puts, and then the puts won't go up. Now they'll start crushing that IV. That's why it's so difficult to trade options directionally. You got to understand all this. Actually, IV is getting crushed. It was 109. We're down to 104. So SLV has sold off literally $5, and the puts have not gone up. So puts had gone up while SLV was going up. Now puts are not going up while SLV is going down. That's the problem. If you had bought those at 80, 85 cents, you're not going to make any money. Not unless we get a collapse. Then you'll make some money. because on the way down, IV is going to get crushed back to 70s from 100 and change. I mean, look, this is what they do. They're good at this. When I say they, the market makers. They know what the fuck they're doing. But then you could tell that they were just hedging all day long. And, that's where the volume is coming from. Because when YOLOers come and buy way out of the money calls by the tens of thousands on SLV, well, there's no open interest. Somebody has to sell it to them. Who's selling it? Market makers. Well, how do the market makers? Market makers are not in the business of gambling like some of these sickos are. So what do? Well, they have to hedge. They hedge by buying the underlying. But then once the selling comes in, then they have to unwind. How do they unwind? Well, they sell the underlying. So, yeah. Well, if you guys understand any of this, great. If you don't, please don't mess with options. It goes with shorting calls, shorting puts, all that stuff. So, yeah. Yep. And now we get a bounce, and then we should roll over at the end of the day. We'll see. We'll see where it closes. It'll be an interesting close, that's for sure. AV is fine. VMNU is fine. CCL, you can't get out of its way. I'm covered. 60 out of the 70, I'm covered. DLTR, we took profits there. Yeah, what's just going on? Okay, yeah. We shall see. We shall see where we end up. Now they can hit, we got to hold on to SLV at 99.80, 100. If they close it right there, they may gap this thing down to like 92.5 tomorrow. And see. One of my group members may have picked the bottom on the ZSL, actually. So talking about group members, I have a chat group. If you want to join, click join. Yeah, I already talked about that. Yeah, all those stocks, right? I mean, Pan American Silver, First Majestic, Excalibur, all these stocks, Hecla Mining. Yeah, if you don't understand it, don't mess with it. I don't mess with options or short. If you don't understand it, don't touch it. Even if you understand it, be careful with it. Yeah, so that's where we are. I'm going to say goodbye. My hat's off. We'll come back on Wednesday. So again, every Monday, Wednesday, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Every Friday, 10 a.m. Trading Power Hour with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We may have caught the top on silver. We'll see what happens. Not really concerned. The positions are what they are. I'll post my positions every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. I post the positions for the members every day. Telegram chat group link. If you want to join for a Big Mac, click join. Send me an email, sergio@sergioavedian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link. What do you get for that? You get my trades lag, and none of this is trading financial investment advice. What I do is risky. Do your own due diligence before you do any of this stuff. You get the trades live, you get the positions, you get account equity every Friday, and you get a live stream every Wednesday or Thursday, which is great. And so you get a lot for your money, which is a Big Mac. Literally, you can have me for a Big Mac. That's just a labor of love. Do you buy into this narrative that crypto is doing well because isn't doing well? No, not really. Although the correlation, I talked about that on Friday, the correlation between the metals and crypto seems like it has broken over the last 6 months. I mean, we'll find out, but so if we do sell off on the metals now, which we had sold off and crypto did not rally, about, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 ago, we had like a 20% correction on silver and gold. Nothing happened to crypto. I think crypto has other issues going forward. It will have its time. Look, if we keep debasing, if we keep lowering the value of the dollar, at some point it will kick in. I don't know when. Timing for me is not everything, really. You need to kind of figure this out. There's structural things going on with metals. The whole world is abandoning the dollar. Okay, massive amounts of gold and silver is being bought by the government agencies. So you just, you know, you have to first, once you understand that, then, you know, you kind of go along with the saying, don't slave harder, save in hard assets. You have to save in hard assets to protect yourself from all the shenanigans that's going around the globe. And it's important for you guys to understand that. Once you understand that, start investing. Not gambling, not YOLOing, not doing any of this. You know, have an investment account, have a trading account. I'm not telling you not to trade. Have some fun, no problem. Hopefully you understand what you're doing. You don't blow accounts, but investing is it. You got to create long-term wealth. And in order to keep pace with what's going on, you have to long-term invest. You must invest. Everybody must invest. All right. So financial literacy is probably the most important thing in this country that we don't pay attention to. Yeah, that it has lost its correlation because the gap right now is as wide as it's ever been. So we'll find out if the metals do sell off, correct a little bit, and is crypto going to rally. We'll find out. But it definitely, there used to be some sort of, well, more than the metals and crypto, there was a correlation between M2, money supply, and Bitcoin, and that seems like that has ended because money supply keeps going to the right, upper right, and Bitcoin is not doing anything. So that gap is also as wide as it's ever been. So, you know, we're going to find out. We're going to find out what happens. But long term, I'm bullish. I DCA'd more Bitcoin this morning. So every Monday, same dollar amount goes into Bitcoin and then out of the exchange into the cold wallet. That's what I do. I don't trade Bitcoin. I traded surrogates. I trade the proxies like BMNU, BMNR. I don't touch MST or MSTU. But, you know, you can trade. Nobody's telling you not to trade, but then you have to be careful with what you're doing, trading. All right, I'm going to say goodbye because I have to get ready for another call at 11. Busy day today, but so please join me again on Wednesday. We'll see. Is that the top? Did the rookie in the Telegram chat group catch the bottom on ZSL? I don't know. He may have. We'll see. You know, the guy who runs the Telegram chat group bought it. I did the cover strangle, but then the rookie may have bought it at the bottom. I don't know. He paid 170 or something for it. I don't know. You're welcome, as always. You're welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit short today, but I have to cut it short. So come back on Wednesday. I'll go longer on Wednesday because on Wednesday my day is pretty free, and we'll see what happens by then. Maybe silver SLV has gone from 106 to 86 back to 106 by Wednesday. It's nuts. I have not seen it. I've actually physically traded silver and gold and COMEX when I first started my career. I was a runner, you know, the pit, right? And I was the runner. I would take orders and take it to the broker. Broker would execute, throw the shit. I have to go find that paper. It was what we all had different color jackets and different color paper, and that represents your, you know, who you work for. And then you collect it and then take it back, and that's how we get the fills. Look at the difference between then and now. Okay, that's how we used to get the fills back to the client, the price. Now you're looking at a screen and you're getting this, right? Amazing. In the last, I mean, this was 25, 28 years ago, not too long ago. And look at the difference. Now with 2 clicks, and then we can buy all we want, we can sell all we want. Things have changed, folks. But then you adapt, you adjust, you learn, you keep learning, and hopefully you all are here to learn, and hopefully you are learning, you are understanding risk. And trees don't grow to the sky, folks. Everything gets cut down. But you know, be careful with what you're doing. Understand risk, manage money. You should be okay. So with that said, have a great rest of your day. May all your longs skyrocket and may all your shorts tank. Hopefully that will happen with me the rest of the day and tomorrow. We'll see what goes on. Please put a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And last but not least, please go to my website, www.sergioavadian.com, and subscribe to the free newsletter, which one is coming out at noon today. You have in time. It's a free, absolutely free newsletter. My goal going forward is to improve financial literacy in this country for everyone. And I think we can solve the wealth gap problem by educating people. And you know, financial literacy is a must. It's a must, even on the simplest form. So the website has a blog. Blog has a newsletter, free newsletter. Please go subscribe. It's free. And you'll learn a lot. And there's already some amazing, amazing articles on the website, on the blog. And every Monday it goes out at noon Pacific. And that's it. So see you guys on Wednesday.